Please stand up, put your hands together, and welcome to the stage, Bill Pipes.
Am I on? Can you guys hear me? Okay, stay standing. Keep your butts out of the seat. You're going to have plenty of time to sit on them, right? By the way, turn to your partner and go, great booty. Just say it to them. Like, I know. You got a great booty, man. You know, like, thanks for showing it to me. Are you guys alive? Are you excited? Are you full of energy for the next 2 hours that I got you? I need you to repeat it. No, that was so pathetic, by the way. Yeah. Right, feels like it was a tough Q1, right? Do me a favor, the big smile on your face, all the energy you can muster, and you just say, Coach, I'm alive, excited, and full of energy, and I want you to give 10 people a high five and tell them you are the next seven-figure earner. So, ready? 1, 2, 3. Coach, I'm alive, I'm excited, and I'm full of energy. Go, 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 go. Grab your seats, let's rock and roll, baby. That's about the extent of me being on the stage. So now I'm down. You are the next seven-figure earner, baby. So, woo! Can I get my slide deck? It would be amazing. Oh, man. I gotta tell you, I flew in last night. I figured out that this is Rob, James, I think the 9th time that I've been here at PCAR, right? So, which is so, like, I'm sort of the resident comedian, right? Here comes Pipes again. But prior to that, you know, I did a whole bunch of stuff with another company, the Red and White Company, right? Where I met Brent for the first time. I came in, I was actually a leader for Bold, for Keller Williams. And so that's where I met Brent for the first time. And he was the team lead for, I think it was the Roseville? Well, whatever office it was, man. Well, I got to tell you, I got in last night at 12:30 to my hotel, right? Because I had other speaking engagements that I had to do yesterday. I woke up this morning like, no shit, guys, alive, excited. I'm like, I cannot freaking wait to share today with what I got for you guys. You guys have all seen me, a lot of you guys have seen me speak before, right? Like, how many of you guys, like, this is not your first rodeo? How many of you, this is your first time that we get to share a room together? Oh, hell yes, man. Let's go, baby. I'm going to punch you in the throat today, so in a loving manner, right? Lovingly, right? I love you, right? But, you know, this, right, today, this market, and when we really look at it, by the way, how many of you guys are up for going for 50 transactions a year? Yeah, like, no, hold on, let me ask that. Okay, all right, we got to get something on the table here. Today, one of the things I notice about human beings that make a lot of money. And are we in this room? You guys, I love people. I love houses. Bullshit. We like making money. Yes or no, guys? Yeah. All right? Like, and we do that through the resource or through the avenue of serving people, of course, right? And selling homes. But you know, the reason you're here right now, I think, is because you want to level up, right, guys? Okay, you want to get better, correct? You want to make a shit ton more money, right? Do me a favor, turn to your partner with a big smile on your face and just go, I give you permission to make a boatload more cash, and give them a little high five, right? Just, I give you permission. Let's go. And, okay, I'll stay back here. Sorry. I get in trouble with the camera, all right? And here's something that is, does success leave clues? It absolutely does. And by the way, that's one of the things that successful people do. You may want to write this down. It's not on a deck. It's not anywhere in there. But successful people, here's what they do. They find others that are producing what they want to produce. They figure out how the hell they did it, and they rip it off. Right? They don't try and figure it out. You know what average people or mediocre individuals do? Their ego gets in the way, and they say, I'm going to figure this out on my own. Do me a favor. Turn to your partner and go, what's up, ego? Because we've all, okay. Like, no joke. I'm down 27 pounds right now. Yeah. Well, dude, I can't stand up on stage and talk discipline if I'm a fat ass. Are you kidding me? It doesn't work. You know what I mean? It just simply doesn't work. And I was just like, I'm incongruent, so I had to make a change. I've had a trainer and a nutritionist, and I'll be damned if I didn't fall into the mediocre gap of saying I'm paying. How many of you guys have ever paid a coach and done your own shit still? Do me a favor, grab your partner's hand and put it up in the air right now for them, because they are fully lying. I'm telling you that right now. Like, do it. Grab their hand, put that sucker up in the air, right? And I hired my personal trainer, Brad, and then he put together a workout program. Guess what I did? ChatGPT. Create a workout program for me. And here I am paying this dude to do whatever, right? So I'd fallen in that gap of mediocrity, and then I finally surrendered back to him. What I need you to do today is surrender. And I want you to look at something that if we agree that success leaves clues, right or wrong group, say yes. Okay, good. So success leaves clues. Then what we know is this. Have you ever met a rich person that doesn't have energy? No. Okay. Right. Maybe if they're asleep. Okay. All right. Yeah. But they have watch. I'm not talking Tony Robbins, Bill Pipes type of energy. They have an energy to them. Does that make sense? They could be like someone I'm going to talk to you about today is a gentleman by the name of Pavan Agarwal. He's like he call him my GBI. He's my genius billionaire investor inside my company, right? And he's Yoda. Right? You guys know when I say, like, those of you that have met him, he's like Yoda, man. He just has everything down, right? And he's got energy, but he's not Tony Robbins energy. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, but he's got a certain energy to him. So today, what I need you to do is I need you to channel your 7-figure self. Does that make sense? And would your 7-figure, now, by the way, turn to your partner right now, and I want you to say this. You can earn 7 figures, and punch them in the arm, right? Okay? Punch the arm or fist pump. We're going to talk about that vision of that 7-figure version of self today, because is belief important? Yes. But I will tell you, energy is one of the most important components of success, period. And if you don't have energy, people are not compelled to work with you. Does that make sense, guys? So for the next 2 hours, I'm going to ask you to have the most energy that you have ever had in your entire life sitting inside of a room. Will you do that for me, yes or no? Okay, lady in the red and white on her phone. Will you do it with us, yes or no? Okay, good. By the way, and if you're not naturally energetic, could you fake it for me for 2 hours? I know that's longer than most of you fake it, but how many of you guys have ever faked anything in your life? Raise your hand. Come on, get your hands up. Get them up. Get them up high. Own that. Be proud. Gentlemen, keep them up. Keep them up. Gentlemen, what do you notice? The ladies got you beat 5-1 on this one. I couldn't resist. All right. So we're gonna go for 50 transactions today. Does that sound good, guys? Someone tell me what the average commission is in the marketplace right now. Someone do the math for me. What's 50 times 18,000? What's 50 times 18,000? Someone do the math. You guys all have phones. Pick them up. What is it? That's 900,000. Basically, what we're talking about here today, guys, is you earning $1 million. Does that make sense? Now, now, do you believe that if you got serious? Now, really quick, okay, you ready? Like, I'm going to make some rules. Can I make some rules today? I got the mic, so I get to make the rules, right? Okay, here's the deal. Stay off your damn phones, okay? And if you see someone on the phone, stomp their foot under the table. There's nothing more important than this conversation we're going to have for the next 2 hours. I need you to relate to that, okay? There's nothing more important than you investing in yourself, right? I have brand new information for you today, things I've never presented. Some of you have actually heard it because you're with me all the time, right? But I have information that I guarantee you, if you follow this, you could double or triple your production. You could go from 10 to 30. You could go, and the proof is in the room with people that are part of G3 right now in this room. And you're going to be on your phone worried about your deal, no S. I want you to think about that, okay? Now, I'm not being a jerk. I'm just being your coach. Does that make sense? And what a coach does is he tells you the things that he or she tells you the things that you don't want to hear, helps you to see the things that you don't want to see so that you can become the damn person that you were meant to be. Does that make total sense, guys? Yes or no? So off your phones, take notes. By the way, this is my coaching style. Do you guys like it? I really don't care. It's effective. Like literally, I gave up being liked a long time ago. Does that make sense? Right? What I was committed to were results. Right? Because and the same thing is true for you guys. You don't want your clients to like you, right? What you want is you want them to respect you for the results that you produce. You want them to trust you for what it is that you say you're going to do and you're going to do it. You want them to feel comfortable around you because you can build rapport. Trust, respect, and rapport. Does that make total sense, guys? Yes or no? All right, good. Now, by the way, at the end of the day today, I'm opening up my schedule. I'm looking for my next millionaires, just so that you know. I'm going to plant this seed. I'm going to offer to 2 or 3 of you guys who want to do this 90 days of coaching for me at a discounted price. because I am looking for the next millionaires. I always pull on 3 to 5 people that I'm going to coach over the course of, I do it 90 days, guys. Here's why I do it 90 days. Because I don't know if I'm going to like you. And I don't know if you're committed. And I'm going to give it all that I can give. But if you don't give all that you're going to give, I'm not going to spend the time with you. Does that make sense? Because I don't like working with people that half-ass shit. Okay? Turn to your partner and go, and you're a full-ass booty, baby. Just say that to them, right? Okay. All right. Shall we rock and roll? You're like, I'm not saying it to him. Find a more attractive partner. All right. So shall we rock and roll, guys? Now, remember, you're supposed to have as much energy as you possibly can have that you ever had inside a room ever. Shall we rock and roll, guys? Yes? Let's do it, baby. Okay. So how was Q1, guys? How was it? At your tables right now, just like unpack that for 30 seconds. If you had to come up with a couple of words that would describe the first quarter of 2025, what would they be? What would the first quarter, what would the words be? That means you talk to each other right now. This is called a paired share, right? So talk. Hey, little high five to your partner. By the way, you're going to be high fiving them all day. I love high fives. So give your partner a little high five. Tell them great work, baby. Great work. How was Q1? How's Q1, baby? What are the words? What would you use? You don't need to raise your hand. You can just say it. Amazing. I love it. I have right now about 65% of my client base had their best quarter that they've ever had. Did you crush it? Good. What's your name? Melissa. Everyone say, way to go, badass Melissa. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Way to go, badass Melissa. Best first quarter that she's ever had. But you know, what are other words? Give me the no bullshit stuff. Huh? Oh, I thought you said happy ending. I was like, wow, okay. I want to hang out with you, right? Okay, outstanding. Okay, sorry, right? Okay, outstanding. How else? What else, guys? Come on, guys.
I've been mediocre.
Mediocre. Look, here's what I've noticed, guys, okay? For the good agents, it was a great first quarter. The agents that have skills, the agents are disciplined, right? The agents that understand the market, the agents that have belief, right? This was a really good market because there was a separation that took place, right? Where we saw the difference between average and great became very clear. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? Okay, right? And also this quarter, Q1, right? Here's what I want you to get. It was like that boyfriend or girlfriend. Here's what the market was. By the way, my sound went down a little bit. I'm not sure what happened. There we go. Can you guys hear me good? Okay. It was like that girlfriend or boyfriend that you dated in high school that couldn't make up their mind. How many of you guys ever dated someone like that? Like, I think Katy Perry wrote a song about it. What was it? Hot and cold, you're up and down and all around or whatever. The market was that way. Oh man, rates are down. Oh no, rates are up. Oh yay, buyers are back in the market. Oh no, buyer purchase applications are down. The market could not make up its damn mind. How many of you guys felt that, yes or no? And because of that, it was like this. Okay, all right? Just when I think I got my groove. Just when I think I got everything together. Oh, shoot, everything's shifting right now, okay? Now I have to use different dialogues because interest rates are at 7.1%, and then 4 days ago they were at 6.6. Oh, that's a different skill set. Does that make sense? That you have to have. So it was really a skill-based market, okay? By the way, turn to your partner and just say this to them. Say, congratulations, you made it. Just say that to them. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, you made it. Why? Because you're still here, right, guys? Right? You didn't get eliminated. You didn't get eliminated by last year. You didn't get eliminated by Q1, and you're still here. And some of you, Melissa, had one of your best quarters that you've ever had. And what I'm committed to and what I'm going to share with you today is I promise you, the market is going to lay up for you in the second half of this year like you have never imagined. We will be back to 2020, 2021 type of market, and some of you will not believe me when I say it, but I get this from inside sources on Wall Street. This is not my opinion. It is totally data-driven, and many of you right now are looking at going, how are we going to get there? Would you like for me to lay that out for you, yes or no? Okay, and then you take your hard work, right? You take your discipline, you take your skills, you layer that on top of a good market, man. That's like throwing gasoline on a fire. How many of you guys have ever done that before? That's how I start my fires. I'm a Boy Scout, right? But I still use Boy Scout liquid, right? Okay, so write this down for me, if you would, please. Let's get the basis. Let's get the fundamentals down, right? Everyone say, let's rock, coach, on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's rock, Coach. By the way, I wore a tie for you guys today. You guys notice that? Yeah, I always have this haircut. But I figured I would actually, it's Easter. Do you guys like my Easter apparel? He has risen. All right, skills, standards, and strategy. Write it down for me, please. Skills, standards, and strategy. Any agent going for $1 million or 50 transactions, these are the 3 components of the business that they focus on the most. Write down skills. Skills are conversations, dialogues, and techniques. Conversations, dialogues, and techniques. You know this, Michael. You've heard me say this so many times. That connect you with people and move them forward towards their goal. That's all it is. That connect you with people and move them forward towards their goal. Hi, can I please speak with Christy? Hey, Christy, this is Bill Pipes over with EXP. I'm giving you a call back like I said I would. When we last spoke, you said you're moving to blank because of blank, and you're moving there because of blank. Is that still the case? Good. The reason that I'm giving you a call is because I was thinking about you, right? Because interest rates came down, because there's this that took place in the market, right? By the way, so my question is, do you want to be sold in blank to blank months, or do you want to start the selling process at the time? Fortunately, to get you one step closer to you being sold in your new home, all we need to do now is simply set an appointment so I can help you get what you want the time you want. Won't that be great? What is that? That is a script, right? Okay. Hi, thanks again for having me over. I'm excited about getting your home on the market and getting it sold. Do you mind if I take a quick look at your home? I wrote down 3 real important questions for you. Number 1, do you absolutely have to sell this home? Number 2, you will need a price home to sell. Number 3, you want me to handle the sale for you. At the end of my presentation tonight, 1 of 3 things will happen. Number 1, you'll have the opportunity to list your home with me. Number 2, I'll decide not to list your home with you. Number 3, I'll decide not to take the listing. Any of the 3 is fine. Let's quickly take a moment and review the questions I asked you over the phone. You said you're moving to blank. You said you're moving there because of blank and you weren't thinking about selling yourself, were you? No, there's only 2 issues we have to look at tonight. Number 1 is your motivation to sell this home, and number 2 is the price to be set on your home. There's the 2 issues that I do now. A buyer determines the value of buyer, terms of value by comparison. Shop and look at the features and benefits your home and sold recently coming on the market. Does that make sense? Done, baby. You know what that is? Clap that shit up. Come on, man. I almost passed out. That's my listing presentation. That is a skill. Does that make sense, guys? When you have it down at that level, you're like Michael, not that I'm like Michael Jordan, but you're like Michael Jordan or Steph Curry not having, let's say Steph Curry up here. How does that, oh, you guys are Sacramento Kings, never mind. So, is the basketball team still here? Oh, I'm going to get booed on that one. Easy, coach. Dude, the great athletes are not thinking about taking the shot and the mechanics of it. It's automatic for them. That's a skill. Does that make sense, guys? And the great agents at 50 transactions a year or more are not thinking about what they say on a listing presentation. They're not thinking about what they say when they get an objection. It is an automatic response that they can connect with the clients. Does that make sense? Write this down under skills. When I have skills, I connect with the client. When I don't, I create resistance. Right or wrong, group? If I don't have the skills, and I'm going to give you some really good skills. Oh, how many of you today would love to have an AI process that can give you a script for every single lead that you have based upon their situation, personality style, that within 2 minutes you could actually have that? Would you love that? Yes or no, guys? Listen to what I just said. That means within 2 minutes, you have the exact dialogue you need to have with every single person that you're talking to. Would you love that? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Let's go to standards. We're not going to talk a lot about standards today. But standards are this. They're disciplines, rituals, and routines. They're disciplines, rituals, and you guys could probably do this talk. Disciplines, rituals, and routines that are non-negotiable. That's the key. Disciplines, rituals, and routines that are non-negotiable. What does that mean? You don't back down. What time do you get up is a standard. Do you prospect every single day? Is a standard. How much time do you prospect every single day? How long do you wait before you call back a lead? What do you eat? When do you go to sleep? All of those are standards, and write down, I am paid to the level of the standards in my life. I am paid to the level of the standards in my life. You show me someone that's poor, no offense to them. I'm sure they're really good people, but they don't have the standards necessary to be able to earn the income that they want to earn. Ladies, do you guys need seats? I got 2 right up here. I would love for you guys to be up here. 3. I got 3, actually. Okay, come on up, right? So I will give you a couple of standards, like working on your mindset, etc. But I want you guys to understand today's not about standards, today's about skills, right? We'll give you a couple of standards. Then number 4 or number 3, third one is strategy. Write down strategy is, see, because great agents, 50 transactions a year, do you think they're constantly working on getting their skills better, guys? Yes or no? Do you think they're role playing every single day? Okay, all right. By the way, if you're not familiar, I'm going to give you something right now. It's a company called Maverick, Maverick, owned by Ylopo. It has AI generative role play partners for you. No, hold on. How many of you guys ever had a role play partner that showed up sometimes, right? Like, you guys know there's this thing out there that we do called role playing. Some of you guys are looking at me a little weird. Like, should you be role playing, yes or no? Because if you're not practicing your scripts with a role play partner, you're practicing them on your clients. When you practice them with your role, listen to what I just said. If you are not practicing your scripts with a role play partner, you end up practicing on your clients. And damn it, they deserve better. Do they not, guys? Yes or no? Okay, right? And it ends up costing you money, right? Maverick, you can role play with it. It shows up every single day, and it gives you feedback and says, that was good, work on this. This needs to be improved. Is that incredible, guys? Yes or no? Like, with the advent of AI, and my friends, that shit is moving fast. Do you know this right now? Like, it's faster than you even can imagine how quickly. I had one of the lead AI individuals on our campfire this last week, Bill Inman. Who was on that call? Did it blow your mind? Did it scare the shit out of you? Yeah. Good. I love it. So watch this. Your strategy are going to be the people, processes, and technology. It's technology, the people, processes, and technology to drive efficiency and effectiveness. To drive efficiency and effectiveness. Me saying to you, I can now give you one page that you fill out that'll take you less than 2 minutes, and you're going to have a script that is specifically designed for the lead and their situation, their specific objection in their personality style, right? That's a strategy that now I'm more efficient as a real estate professional because I'm not having to go through a book or write my own script. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? It's amazing, right? It's how fast we can move, and it's only going to go faster, all right? So we're going to dig into this here today, my friends, but let's go. 53 agents. 53 agents right now in the last 7 years that have gone over $1 million. I want all of you guys to say this for me right now, right? By the way, not this one. I'm going to say this to you. I am on a mission, guys. No, I'm saying this. It's my time to talk. I'll give you one in a second, all right? I am on a freaking mission. I'm obsessed with this. I want 1,000 agents over $1 million in production. That's why I think that's why I'm here on the planet. I think that's why God put me here, right? Is so I could screw it up so you guys don't have to. Like, I want you to think about that. Like, I've made every single mistake. And here's the difference. We're going to talk about failure later on at the end of the day. The reason that I'm as successful as I am is because I failed more than most of you have even tried. Listen to what I just said. I have been willing to fail more than most human beings have been willing to try. And because of that, I have the level of success that I have in the company that I have, and the agents have the level of success as well, too. Does that make total sense, guys? So here's what you need to say. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No, with some energy. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Turn to your partner, tell them 1, 2, 3. I am next. Now, this is new. This is brand new. I sat down and I said, what do you need to do to get to 50 transactions? Number 1, you need to master I want you to write this down. I'm going to give you the slides. Nope, don't take pictures. Write it down. Pictures is the easy way to do it. Let's go back to the Does anyone remember when we didn't have cell phones? Like, how many of you guys grew up in the 80s? Right? I love you guys, right? Okay. Anyone remember Depeche Mode? Yes. Dink, 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 right? So, Flock of Seagulls. I had that haircut too. Do you know what kids did back in the 80s when we didn't have phones? We actually talked to each other. We actually had conversations. We went to concerts. Our concerts didn't look like this. We had lighters because we smoked cigarettes instead of vapes, right? Like as horrible as it was, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know, right? But watch, guys. When you write something down versus taking a picture, you remember it 6 times more. okay? When you take, because I know you're going to take those pictures. I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm going to take a picture, and I'm never going to look at it again, and then it's going to actually get cleared out of my freaking photo when I go, what was that? Oh, yeah, that was a great seminar. Boom, gone, right? Turn to your partner and go, he's so talking to you. He is so talking to you. Say that to them. So number one, what are we going to do? Write down, we're going to master our mindset and BS. What is BS? No. BS stands for, thank you. BS stands for my belief system. My belief system. We're really going to dig into the belief system because here's one of the key things. If you don't believe that you can actually sell 50 homes and earn $1 million, nothing I'm going to say to you is going to matter. Do you guys get that? You got to be bought into that. You got to be able to look at it and say, damn it, if someone, how many of you guys got into the game of real estate because you worked with a real estate agent? You said, if that dumbass can sell a house, I can do this for sure. Right? How many of you guys got in it because of that? You're like, really? Her? Him? Are you kidding me? I paid them how much? Oh, shit, I can do this. Right? Okay? So I want you to believe that. Like you believe that. We're going to work on a belief system for you in terms of 50 transactions. Number two, build a predictable, what does it say? Prospecting routine. Everyone say this with me with a big smile on my face. I love to prospect, so I do it every single day. Right? Big smile. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I love to prospect, so I do it every single day. Some of you, your body language was off, but most of you, that was good. I have yet to meet a 50 transaction a year earner, $1 million earner that does not prospect and follow up 1, 2, or 3 hours a day. Does that make sense, guys? I'm sorry, there's no way around it, right? At least right now. Eventually, will it be? You better believe it. Within the next 5 years, AI will be doing a majority of the prospecting. Some of you are like, can we fast forward to 5 years from now and you skip over the prospecting section? No, right? Because for the next 5 years, you still got to be in the hunt. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Number 3, what does it say? Become an appointment setting machine. We're going to spend a lot of time on setting appointments today. How many of you guys would love to have techniques, strategies, things that you can do to be able to set one appointment every single day, 220 to 300 days a year? Raise your hand, say yes, coach. Yes. So I'm going to dig into that with you guys and some data that I have from Ylopo and some work that we've actually done together that's brand new information that I have never shared with you guys. Okay? Dominate your skill set and your knowledge, maintain your standards with your time, have a systemic approach for only 3 lead sources. Guys, you can get to 50 transactions with 3 lead sources. Do you realize that? Do you know what the 3 lead sources are? What do you think they are? What do you think the key 3 lead sources are? The ones I'll do, right? Okay. Actually, it's this. Where's my new agent that came up to me? Where is she? I'll follow it. Yes. Whatever her name was. What is your name? Marion. Marion, brand new agent came up to me here earlier when I was getting ready to actually step on stage. She said, what should I do? I said, do as many open houses as you can for the next 6 months. I'm like, hey, do 4, do 5. I don't give a shit. But what if no one shows up? Cool. Study your scripts while you're there. Study the market while you're there, right? Someone go out and knock on doors before it, right? Do twilight open houses. She goes, why? I go, because it's going to give you the chance to be face-to-face, belly-to-belly with real-life human beings, right? Okay, and when someone walks in, it's much easier because you got 55%. You guys realize communication has 3 parts to it? When you're on the phone, all you have are your words and your tone. That's 7% are words, 38% is tone. 7% are words, 38% is tone. When I'm live face-to-face in an open house, guess what? I got the other 55%, which is my body language. I'm much more effective simply because the body is there, right? And we're more connected. Does that mean this is why real estate agents, guys, will never be replaced by AI? Okay? We'll never be, because you know what? In the end, we need to feel this. We need to feel that. That's why coaches will never be replaced by AI. Do you know why? Because a computer cannot hold you accountable, can it? Okay? You need to have that relationship. AI can tell you, but you don't feel. If I let my computer down, I'm like, oh, well, I let my computer down. I didn't turn off the freaking program. I closed it without actually zeroing out. I don't feel bad about it. I let my coach down. I feel like shit. Does that make sense, guys? Okay? So number 1 of the key 3 lead sources is open houses. Okay, so these are in no particular order. Number 2, write down our past clients and sphere of influence. If you're going to get to 50 transactions, this is what I told this young lady. I said, build your sphere of influence, your friends, your family members, talk to them, educate them, bring them information, right? Tell them what's going on in the market. Do this on a regular basis, right? Send emails out to them once or twice a month, right? Do a market update video, and you'll pick up 4, 5, 6 transactions as a brand new agent. Do you guys get that? Yes or no? But coach, I'm brand new to the business. Aren't they going to think that I don't know anything? Only if you're not studying and controlling the narrative and putting information out. Does that make sense? If you're studying, right? Look, the reason when I left, I was in a PhD program, believe it or not, when I met a gentleman by the name of Mike Ferry, right? By the way, this year, I know Mike's my competitor, right? I love him to death. He was my father-in-law, actually, like for almost a decade. I always joke and I say, I loved Mike so much, I married his daughter, right? He has cancer. I'm not sure how many of you guys know that. So he's got prostate cancer. It's hopefully not that bad. They're not doing chemo, they're doing radiation. So that should tell you something, right? That if it was really aggressive, they would go straight to chemo. He's got what I think will be his last big superstar retreat in July. Get your asses there. For those of you that have not ever seen Mike Ferry, granted, he's 80 years old, 79 years old, but this is the opportunity to see Jim Rohn one last time. This is the opportunity to see Earl Nightingale, like all of these iconic speakers. Get your ass to Las Vegas, see Mike Ferry in July. You guys pinky promise me, yes or no? Like, go. It'll be freaking, I'm going. I'm freaking there, you know what I mean? So, all right. So number one is past clients and sphere of influence. Number two is open houses. Write down number three, reinvest in the business with online leads. You're going to need to play a pay-to-play game. Does that make sense, guys? And whether that's Google pay-per-click, meta ads, anything, hold on one second, anything along those lines, you're going to need to do it. As you make money at the beginning, look at me. And as you start to make more money, even if you're already in the business, do me a favor, turn to your partner, look them dead in the eyes and just say this, don't be a dumbass. No, I mean, like, say it to them like they're your kids. I want you to say it like they're your kids. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Don't be a dumbass. What does that mean? Don't go get the Mercedes. Don't go get the Lambo. Don't go get the Rolex. Don't go do the stupid. How many of you guys have ever seen agents that did that? And then they went from hero to zero when the market shifted and turned. Instead of buying the product, invest in the business. And I want you to write that down. You need to take 6 to 10% of all the revenue top line that your company, and it's your company. I say your company. You guys get that. But coach, it's just me. It's still your damn company. And you need to, like, if you want a business principle that I teach everyone, you earmark 6 to 10% of every single commission to be able to actually have it in your marketing budget. And then when that builds up, then you can go to Zillow. Then you can go to Movado. Then you can go to Ogio. Then you can go and get someone to start doing Google pay-per-click marketing. We are in a world where you have to market. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? If you want your business to grow. Otherwise, you'll cap out. And here's where you'll cap out. I want you to write this down. If all you do is open houses and past clients in Sphere, you're probably going to cap out around 20 to 25 transactions. That's not a bad life. Many of you are like, God, that'd be great. Cool. But we're talking 50 transactions. Does that make sense, guys? And because you want to do that, you got to reinvest back in the business. Does that make total sense? Yes or no? Okay, beautiful. Track and monitor. They fall in love with failure. They leverage technology and AI, and they only associate with people they grow with, they profit with. This is something I learned from Mike Ferry. It's one of my favorite things he ever taught me. Only hang out with people that you grow with. Only hang out with people that you can profit with. Does that meaning that you can do business with? And only hang out with people that you laugh with. Okay? Do me a favor. Turn to your partner and go, that's why I'm sitting next to you, baby. And give them a little high five. All righty. So let's get tactical. Let's get tactical. All right. 50 homes. The first step comes down to your belief. It comes down to your belief. Do we vibe on belief, Johnny? Yes or no? Can you feel someone that believes in himself? Any of you guys ever watch The Last Dance? Yes. Oh, dude, hold on. You need to write this down. Write down, it's on Netflix. It's called The Last Dance. It's freaking amazing. I've watched it 9 times. It's a 10-episode series about the 1990 Chicago Bulls, which I don't care what anyone says, LeBron James is not even in the top 5 of all time. You know? Yeah, he doesn't even... No, it goes, Michael Jordan, for me, Kobe Bryant. Okay, I'd put Steph Curry top 5 because he fundamentally shifted and changed the game in terms of how shooters shoot. I'd put Larry Bird up there too, by the way. Okay, I put Larry Bird. Those of you that are like, why are we talking basketball, right? Because we're talking about excellence. Does that make sense? Michael Jordan was interviewed by Ahmad Rashad. They just got done playing golf. They're over at the Dream Team back in, what year was that? 19 what? 1990. Hey, back table. I see you guys talking to each other. Shush. Right? Okay. All right. So 1992, the Dream Team, Ahmad Rashad says to him, okay, Michael's walking back from playing golf, has his bag and stuff. He goes, hey, Mike, he goes, game-winning shot. Like, there's 2 seconds. Who's taking the shot? He goes, I am, of course. That's the belief that you need to have. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. Who's doing 50 transactions? Of course. Let's try that again. Who's doing 50 transactions? I am, of course, right? And how do you get there? Because I got the skills. Why do I got the skills? Because I've worked on them every single day, right? And I failed, and I've used that failure to give me feedback to make adjustments. How do I know I'm going to get to 50? Because I'm a disciplined mofo. Because I follow my standards. How do I know I got to get to 50? Because I'm systemic in my approach. I follow strategies, not like when I feel like doing something. Does that make sense? That's how Michael Jordan got to that point. That's how you get there too. So let's talk about belief for a second. Do you believe that you could sell 50 homes a year? Okay. I will tell you this. There are days, being totally honest, where I wake up and I'm like, not that often, and I'm like, shit, can we really do this? Can we really get 1,000 people? We were at 53 pipes. You're 52 years old. Like, it's funny. I had my Uber driver pick me up, and I walked out. He's like, are you like a Mr. Olympia? And I'm like, no, dude. Like, no, I'm a real estate trainer, right? He's like, okay, right? And I told him, I'm like, maybe he was fishing for a tip, right? But I mentioned something, I'm 52 years old. He's like, you look like you're 30. I'm like, I love you. Drive me all the time, dude, right? So, but there are moments where I'm like, dude, I started too late. I worked with Tom too long. I worked with Mike too long. I didn't leave soon enough. We're not moving fast enough. Oh shit, I just fired my sales team. I had to hire a whole new sales team. There are moments when I have doubt, fear, concern, and resignation. It's called being human. Does that make sense? How many of you guys go through that? Yeah, where you're like, oh man, can I say 50, and of course we're in this room, we're like, yes! And then you're gonna get in your car and you're like, fuck, can I really do this? Right? And that's normal. And because that is normal, that's called being human. Turn to your partner and go, thank you for being human, right? You need to have look at me, a strategy to be able to build that belief. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Like belief, guys, does not just happen haphazardly. It happens with work that you do strategically. And I'm going to give you right now the 2 to 3 step process that I want you to follow, that I use, that my entire 400 person G3 nation uses to build belief. Do you guys want that? Yes or no? Right? Okay. And it's been ripped off, duplicated, taken away from other people. By the way, here's the deal though. If you aren't sold on you, then the vote is unanimous. And I want you to write that down. If you aren't sold on you, you walk in a listing presentation, and you're not absolutely sure that you're the best agent for the job to sell their home, they're going to feel it. You're on a call, you don't feel like oh man, am I worth, or you're on a listing presentation and they're like, oh, the commission. You don't feel like you don't believe that you should earn 6%, 3%, 4% to you, right? They'll eat your lunch and they'll kick your ass and you'll end up walking out of there feeling like crap with a 1.5% listing to you or 2% to you. Right or wrong, group? Yes or no? Okay. Do you guys feel my belief? Yes or no? See, guys, I look at every single one of you. I want you to know something. I believe every single one of you guys can get to $1 million. I believe it. You know why? Because we've done it 53 damn times, right? And there are people that should not have gone over $1 million. They come to me, they're like, I'm going to earn $1 million. I'm like, you believe in them, Pipes. You believe in them. You believe in them. You believe in them. You believe in them. They've got this. They've got this. They've got this. They've got this. And then it's wonderful because it's not that I'm surprised, but there is that little bit of surprise. And I go, if that person can do it, then every single one of you can do it as well too. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Turn to your partner and go, especially you. But see, you got to be sold on. Well, watch this. If you're going to earn $1 million, sell 50 or 60 homes, there's a good chance that you're going to also need to start to build a little tiny team, right? And then your belief is really important Because I got 456 people that I show up to every single morning on the huddle that I have to actually have my belief going. Otherwise, it impacts them. That's my team. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. So, all right. So let's go here. This is what I carry around with me everywhere. I'll share it with you. At the end of the day, you guys want to come up and look at this. This is the exercise that I did when I hit a point. We had just started the company. The woman that I was dating at the time, God bless her, she's amazing. Her name is Anna, right? Many of you have met her because she came here to one of the events. She's actually pregnant now. So pregnant and engaged. I'm really excited for her at 43 years old. I don't want any more kids. So that makes me really excited for her, right? But she said to me when we came back from Mexico one time, she said, hey, Bill, I love you and we're done. And I'm like, what? We're done? She's like, yeah, we're going to take a break. I go, we're going to take a break. She goes, well, because the person that you were being in Mexico, and I wasn't being stupid in Mexico. I was just being stupid in Mexico, right? What you doing? Just having some tequila shots, being loud, being a little obnoxious. Can you guys imagine me loud and obnoxious? No way, right? No, right? This is why I don't drink that much, right? You put tequila in me and I'm like loud and fun, right? So, and have regrets, right? Any of you guys have that at all? You guys are such liars right now. I'm just calling bullshit on you. Now watch this, guys. This is really cool because she said, you want to run a business that's worth $25 million and you're not being that man. When you're ready to be that man, come back, talk to me. I'm all in. Now, I would love to tell you that my elevated self was like this. Thank you for this wonderful lesson. I was like, guess what I said? Fine. That's just fine. Cool. We'll talk later. Good. Bye. Hung up the phone. I'm like, what a bitch, right? Like, honestly, that's now I would never say that to her. I hope you understand that's internal dialogue that I had going on in my head. I would never disrespect a woman like that, right? But I was definitely like, screw you. Don't you know who I am? Like, how many of you guys have ever had a moment like that in your life where your ego's like, defend, protect, whatever? Yes? And then 72 hours later, I was looking at it and go, damn it, she's right. I wasn't being $25 million person. You know what I mean? Right? Because that's a $25 million company. In order for me to be able to get to 1,000 people over the next 9 years, I've reverse engineered the numbers. I know what we need to do. It's not some revenue number that I just made up. Make sense, guys? See, great people understand numbers and they use numbers to validate actions, right? And so what I did is I created this avatar of myself called 25 Mil Bill. Now, I was talking to my buddy Pavan, and Pavan said to me, Bill, that one of the biggest challenges, you talk 7 figures to everybody in the room, and most of them have never been around someone that's earned 7 figures or have only been around a couple of people that have done it. So for them, they can't see themselves doing it. If they can't see themselves doing it, then they'll never take the steps that they need to. Does that make sense, guys? And so now what we did is I said, cool, I'm going to figure this out. And so we created an entire process. Here's number 1, okay? And I want you to write this down. You want to take your time and you want to create what I call your avatar. Write that down, avatar. What is your avatar? The avatar is, who are you when you are earning 7 figures already? If you are already, can you get a vision of who that person is, guys? Yes or no? Let's just take a moment. Hi, Ann. I was looking for you, sister, right? I want you to do this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine it's the end of the year, whatever year it is. You get to choose which year it is. And you just looked at your final numbers and you closed 50 plus transactions. Close your eyes. You've earned $1 million. Where do you live? How do you look? What do you drive? What are you wearing? What is the dialogue that you have with yourself? What does your schedule look like? Who are the people that are in your life? How do you operate? What is the internal dialogue that you have? Now, guys, I want you to open your eyes right now. Did you get a picture of that, yes or no? Yeah. Take a moment right now, capture it, write it down. Take a moment right now, capture it and write it down. Take a moment right now. I want you to capture this and write it. This is not some woo-woo bullshit, by the way, guys. This is exactly what great athletes do. You know what I mean? This is what Jim Carrey did. Do you guys know who Jim Carrey is? I'll talk while you're writing in the background. Okay? How many of you guys like Jim Carrey? Okay? Keep writing. Keep writing as I'm talking. Jim Carrey wrote the $10 million check. You guys know the story of the $10 million check? He wrote the $10 million check and said within, the next 8 years, I'm going to have a movie that I do that earns me $10 million. He would go to the top of Hollywood Boulevard. He would sit there every single night, and he said he would visualize himself as that person. And he said, you guys got it? Yeah. Okay, and he said he wouldn't leave until he felt that it was there. Then he'd get in his car, and he'd drive back down the hill, and he'd do it every single night. Up, down, up, down. And he carried the $10 million check with him. Guess what happened 6 years later? Anyone know the movie? What's that? Dumb and Dumber. For Dumb and Dumber, it came in right at $10 million for him. You think that what you just did was just an exercise. You look at the greats, and they know that if they can't see it in their mind, they never will produce it in reality. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? We make fun of visualization. We say it's cheesy. We say it's whatever, right? It's woo-woo. No. What the mind of man can conceive and believe, he or she can create. That is a fundamental law. Share with your partner really quick. What's you at 50 transactions? What's the habits? What's the rituals? What's the routines? Where do you live? What do you drive? Who's around you? Are you married? Are you single? Do you have kids? What is that version of you at 50 transactions or 7 figures? Let's take some time, get inspired by each other right now. Go. Go right now. Go, go, go. Okay. Give your partner a little high five and tell them great work. Give your partner a high five and tell them great work. Guys, I want you to understand something. Do you know what drives me absolutely crazy? No. Do you want to know what drives me crazy? Trainers that teach shit that they don't use. And there's a lot of them out there. Do you realize that? I want to show you guys something. This is the assignment I did for myself. Take a look at that. There it is. What is that? What does it say?
25 mil bill.
What is it? And then what is it? Stand up for me really quick.
This is who you're supposed to be. It's your 7-figure.
That's my $25 million version of myself. Will you read a couple of them for me? What's your name? Ryan, because you're doing this, I'm going to give you freaking 30 days free in G3 inside of our membership for you to be able to do that, okay? All right? Thank you, man. Okay, what does it say?
Number 1, extreme discipline. He doesn't just work hard, he works smart and relentlessly. Consistency is a non-negotiable.
Number 2.
Obsessive focus. He lasers in their vision and blocks out distractions. No chasing Kayamba.
Number 3.
Calculated risk-taking. He bets big without precision. He understands risk, mitigates it, and moves forward with confidence.
Nice. I went through 25 different things that were my characteristics and traits to get to 25 million. Then what I did is I took those 25, and guess what I loaded it up to? Guess what I told ChatGPT to do? Create the affirmation for me. Will you read those?
25 mil bill affirmations. Number 1, I'm extremely disciplined. I work smart. I work hard, and I execute with relentlessness. Number 2, I am obsessively focused. My vision is clear. My attention is razor sharp, and I block out all distractions.
Beautiful. We could go through all the rest of them. Then I went to ChatGPT. Guess what I said? Hey, ChatGPT, here's the person. Here's what he thinks. Here's what he does. What does that say?
25 mil billionaire schedule.
Yeah, I added that in there. I thought it was so nice. Sorry. I said, ChatGPT, create the schedule for me. And by the way, I need you to block this out because I have coaching calls at this time. But if I was this person already, what would my schedule be? Guess what it kicked out to me? It said, Pipes, here's your schedule. If you want to be able to actually be this person, then you follow it. Do you guys see how AI? Now, did I follow it completely? No, I had to tweak it and adjust it. I said, no, I want to add this and do whatever, right? And then I created one last document because this is what I listen to. This is what I read at night. This is my manifesting 25 mil bill. It's a little bit more sort of like woo-woo, right? Okay, like it's more of my spiritual side and everything else. My friends, thank you, by the way. Thank you. Clap it up. Yeah. Guess how I start every single day. I wake up, okay? I actually go to the mirror. Oh, so sorry. Whammo, right? I go to the mirror. I brush my teeth with my opposite hand because it activates a different side of my brain, okay? Plus, right, my girlfriend may be at the house, and if I want to kiss her, I don't want to have stinky breath, right? So that's step number one. Bang, bang, bang. I stand in the mirror, and then I tell myself, I love you, 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 I love you 20 different times, okay? Then I take this out, and guess what I do? Who am I going to be today? Because I got two choices. You got two choices. Be the 8 transaction a year earner. Go ahead. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you're not fulfilling upon your opportunity. Does that make sense, guys? There is no right or wrong. There's just actions and results. Actions and consequences. Does that make sense, guys? So I don't think someone that does this is where Mike Ferry and I differ. Mike Ferry looks at an 8 transaction year producer and he's like, stupid, stunata, stupida, dumbass. Right? That's what he says. I look at an 8 transaction a year producer and I said, you just haven't spent enough time with me. That's all it is. Because you spend enough time with me, I'm going to actually brainwash you into believing that you can actually sell 50 transactions and get $1 million a year. Does that make sense, guys? You know, that's a belief I have in myself. But see, I have to have that belief before I can convey that belief to somebody else. Does that make sense? So then I'll do my affirmations, and then I'll read over a 25 mil bill, right? And then at the end of the night, I'll actually read my manifesting document as I go to right before I go to sleep. So it's the last thing that I'm thinking about. Does that make sense, guys? And because of that, do you guys feel my belief? Yes or no? Is it contagious? Yeah, and see, that's what I want you to have as well, too, for your buyers and your sellers. That belief in you, and that belief in why they should list with you, and that belief in why they should sign a buyer-broker agreement with you, and that belief in why it is that they should move forward in this market in the face of adversity, and the belief in why it is that they should list their house now versus waiting. But see, it all starts with you. Turn to your partner and goes, it all starts with you, baby. On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, here's the number. Now, by the way, here's number 2. Oh, I love this one. This came from my buddy Tony Robbins via my buddy Jimmy Rex. Will there be day... Okay. You guys want to know what success is in being an entrepreneur? Write this down. I was talking to Alex Hermosi. Any of you guys know Alex Hermosi? Okay, write that name down. You need to follow him. He's absolutely fantastic and he's incredible. Okay? Hormozi. Alex Hermosi. He is one of the lead individuals in entrepreneurship right now. You need to be watching these individuals. Does that make sense, guys? Like Alex Hermosi is one of them. Number 2, you need to be still listen to Gary Vaynerchuk. From a marketing standpoint, still put him in there. Who else? Anyway, let me go back to the story. Yeah, you can listen to Bill Pipes if you want to. Yeah, he's out there too. So Hermosi and I were talking about this. I said, hey, Alex, I got something I want to run past you. We're DMing back and forth. He said, yeah, what is it? I go, here's what I think entrepreneurship is and owning a business. And write this down. Write down, it's 20% feeling like you've totally, and we talk this way, and I won't use the full word, but effed it up. That you're completely failing. 20% of the time. Holy shit, I screwed it up. I made the wrong move. I shouldn't have done that. That was unwise. That was stupid. How could you have done that? 75% of the time, it's a state of varying degrees of dissatisfaction. Varying degrees of dissatisfaction. That is the cutest baby. Oh my goodness. How old is she? He. 5 weeks. I'm going to have him selling 50 homes by the time he's 3 years old. His first words are going to be, when do you plan on moving? So cute, so adorable. But 75% of the time, my friends, you will feel dissatisfied. Does that make sense? It'll be like, hey, that was good, but oh, I wanted more. Or you know what? I got this listing, but I missed out on this other one over here. And write down 5% of the time is a celebration. Only 5% of the time. That's how people with greatness actually approach it. And he goes, you're spot on. Actually, I had said it was 20%, 70%, 10%. And he goes, no. He goes, it's only 5%. I'm like, you're so right. So because we know that, look at it guys, 95% of the time, we're gonna have feelings of failure or dissatisfaction. You need to have a strategy to be able to push through that because you're gonna get your teeth kicked in. Does that make sense? You're gonna get your ass kicked. You're gonna miss out on opportunity. You're gonna make unwise moves, right? Let's just go back to the reason that successful people succeed is because they actually fail more than most people try, right? Okay, and so in those moments, what do normal people do? They stop. That's okay. They choose to stop. But if you're going to push through and become extraordinary, and do me a favor, turn to your partner and go, he is so, punch him in the arm and go, he is so talking to you right now. Just say that to them. He is so talking to you. If you're going to push through that, you need to have a strategy to keep going. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? So the second part, once you create your avatar, right? Do you guys follow me on the avatar? I shared my avatar with you. You need to go do that. Use ChatGPT, come up with your list, put it into ChatGPT. It'll help you think of some other hoobie-joobies as well too, okay? Number 2, you need to make a list of 50 things you have done in your life that make you a badass. 50. Oof, right? Why? Now, I've got my 50 reasons I'm a badass somewhere over here. Being born in a small town in southeast Texas called Kirbyville. Ding, 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 ding. You know, single mom raised me, right? Okay, was able to overcome that. Wanted to buy a Porsche, had it on my wall when I was 11 years old. People made fun of me for it. It was a silver 911. Guess what I've had? 3 silver 911s. I just randomly, like my car guy always brings me silver 911s. You think there's no synchro destiny in that whatsoever? It's the craziest thing in the world, right? Okay, that happens, okay? I was able to actually was an extraordinary football player. Probably could have played later on, but I stopped. I decided not to. Went into a new school, was able to become the commissioner of finance for the student body within a year and a half. I didn't know anyone, right? Like there's all these things, and I could and I look at that, and I read that. Look at me, guys. I read that every single day. Why? Because doubt, fear, and resignation sinks or will creep in. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? It is a constant battle against mediocrity. We are conditioned to have a negativity bias. I want you to write that word down. It's called negativity bias. We are conditioned to have a negativity bias. What is a negativity bias? We look at situations and we come up with the worst case scenario. How many of you guys have ever noticed that? Yes or no? Why? Because your brain is not designed to have you be a massive success. Your brain is designed to keep you alive. Your brain is not designed. You got to get this. It is a survival mechanism that is designed to keep you alive, have you eat, have you have sex, and procreate, so therefore the species continues. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? Sleep, eat, have sex, repeat over and over again, right? And that's how the brain is designed, okay? Turn to your partner and go, especially yours, right? Some of you are like, yeah, I've been thinking about that all day. When is this over, right? Okay? So now you have a strategy. Does that make sense? You do the exercise of this avatar. You do the exercise of the 50 reasons you're a badass. Then you have a strategy of starting every single day off with this. How many of you believe that if you actually did this on a daily basis for the next 30 days, it would have a fundamental impact in terms of the way that you approach things, the conversations that you have, and the relationships that you build? Raise your hand. Say aye. Okay, turn to your partner and tell them, then get your ass to work. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Then get your ass to work. One last little mindset strategy as well too, right? We all know that we're programmed. I told you guys this. And your programming that you have that came from your parents, that came from your school, that came from your church, the programming that many of you got are getting it from social media, right? The programming that you get from YouTube, the programming that you get from the media and the news, etc. Does it affect your thoughts, yes or no? Okay, right? And those thoughts give you feelings. Those feelings lead to actions. Those actions lead to results. Programming, thoughts, feelings. This is a great book if you haven't read it, okay? It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. It's an old school book. It is absolutely fantastic. Every single one of you should read or listen to it. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Secrets of the the letter T, Harv, H-A-R-V, Eker, E-K-E-R. Absolutely dynamic book. And he says that people have a financial thermostat that's established by their programming. So what there needs to do, what I just gave you right there was a way to reprogram yourself. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, to think about yourself in a little bit different light. But there's also other things that you need to do. This is something that I have every single person that coach that I work with, it is a demand for me. It's called the 6x10 or the 1800. This is a daily process that I want you guys to engage in to be able to put yourself in the right emotional and mental state. Number 1, 10 minutes of exercise. 10 minutes of exercise. Look your partner up and down really quick. Look them up and just look at them. Just take it, like soak them in for a second. Like really soak them in. Look them up and down with a big smile. Come on. And here's what I want you to say. You've got a great body, baby. You should use it more often. Just give it. All right. Oh my word. I haven't heard that in a seminar ever. That's beautiful. 10 minutes of exercise. This morning, because I got in so late, watch me guys, I got in so late last night, I didn't do a full workout. But you know what I did? 10 minutes of push-ups and 10 minutes of frickin' of ab crunches. Why? Well, because number 1, I am the message to my crew. And that's something that I like. I live with integrity. So I cannot ask, there's no way I'm showing up today asking these guys to do something that I didn't do this morning. Does that make sense, guys? How many of you guys have a team? Then you want them to prospect and you don't? That makes it really difficult, right? You've got to be the message is what I always say. Number 2, you need to listen to something. For 10 minutes, it's going to motivate and inspire you. Hey, G3 Nation, where's my G3 Nation members that are inside this room? Okay, do you guys like that I send out to you those motivational things so by the way, I'm giving everyone in this room, if you want it, 21 days free to be part of our G3 Nation, which is our subscription. Would you guys like that? Yes or no? That's typically like $99. What that is it's every morning I call it a 15-minute huddle. I'm lucky if I get off in 25, right? And I'm just pouring myself in. Could you imagine starting every single day off with me in your ear? Some of you are like, no, I want this to be over so I never have to see you again, right? But like I'm bringing tactics, strategy, bringing new scripts, new dialogues. We're doing role play. I'm setting you up with the right mindset. So that's for 30 minutes every single morning. And then once a week, we have what's called the campfire. And the campfire is a 1 hour. I just brought in the definitive AI specialist to talk about how AI is going to disrupt real estate and how we can stay ahead of it. Do you guys feel more comfortable and more confident after that call with what's taking place? 100%, right? And I bring in top producing agents, et cetera. So I'm going to give that to every single one of you for free. Sound good, guys? You get it for 21 days. You get it for 21 days. Why 21 days, right? Because that's how long it takes to create momentum. And at the end of 21 days, you want to continue. We would love to keep you in there and have you be part forever for the rest of your life so that we can continue to pour in you. Now, okay, we watch. Everyone say, thank you, coach. You're welcome. All right. Gratitude is an important thing. All right. So 10 minutes of watching something that's motivating and inspiring or learning something, and then doing 10 affirmations every single day. I give you affirmations on the daily dose, which is an email that I send out. So every single day you're getting new affirmations. Mine are this: I'm alive, excited, and full of energy. The unlimited wealth this world now flows to me through both seen and unseen avenues. I live my life from my highest self. I recognize how people are doing the best they can in the moment with the skills and the tools that they have. Because right now, baby, I am the voice. I will lead, not follow, create, not destroy, believe it, not doubt. I'm a force for good. I'm a force for God. I'm a leader. Defy the odds. Set a new standard. Step up, step up, step up. Pipes, I now command my conscious, subconscious mind to give me all the power, passion, energy, influence, enthusiasm, humor, charm, joy, love to do whatever it takes to help every single person in my life. And in this room, damn it, realize their God-given right for wealth, abundance, joy, happiness, and love. Let's go, Pipes. So that's how I start my day. The 10 minutes to this, that, you guys have a maka flaka jaka, right? And you're off into the office. And you wonder why you're not producing where you want to produce. It's because you're not launching yourself off the way that you need to, as you guys do the maka flaka jaka, right? That's a Starbucks drink, I think, or the Hoobie Joobies, right? Okay, in case you guys were like, what's a maka flaka jaka? How do you spell maka flaka jaka? Is that a book? Now, that's in the morning. Now, check this out, guys. In the evening, it's 10 minutes of meditation or prayer, whatever you do. Do you know what I love about the Muslim religion? Do you know what I absolutely love about the Muslim religion? 6 times a day, they pray. Like, think about that. Like, I'm Catholic and Buddhist. I'm like this weird sort of, like, I practice Nichiren Buddhism, and I grew up as an altar boy. Like for a lot of Christians, we're lucky if we get, praying a week. But I really respect that about the Muslim religion, that 6 times a day you guys pray, man. That's absolutely fantastic. What that does is it centers and grounds you. Does that make sense? It connects you with your higher source. It's absolutely incredible. So meditation, I have yet to meet a billionaire that doesn't have a mindfulness practice, by the way. Now, you may say, well, Pipes, what should I do? Just breathing or whatever? Yeah, you go to Calm, you go to Headspace, you go to any of these apps, and you press play. Does that make sense, guys? That's all you do. Number 2, you want to read 10 pages, and then you want to finish the day off by writing 10 things that you're grateful for. All of that, you do that every single day. You're starting off your day by actually reading your 7-figure avatar, the 50 reasons you're a badass. Can you see what will happen to your belief, guys? Yes or no? Your belief will go through the roof, your energy will change, right? And people will notice a difference. So let's switch gears. Do you believe in the market? Yes or no? So we talked about creating the belief in yourself, right? Do me a favor. Sit up straight, big smile on your face, turn to your partner, go, I believe in you on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, check this out. We're going to go market data. I'm going to take probably about 10 minutes on this, and then we're going to actually flip it over into what I promised you, which we were going to do, which is all of the lead follow-up conversations and dialogues and processes. Sound good, guys? Now, look, here's why this conversation right here matters. Just like if you don't believe in you, they won't ever. If you don't believe that right now is, damn it, the best time to buy a home, then there's no way that they're going to buy into you. And I want you to write this down. When two people meet, the one that has the most certainty will have the greater influence on the other. When two people meet, the one that has the most certainty is going to have the greater influence on the other. What I am going to share with you today, some of you are not going to believe. I was not even going to actually mention one of the things to you, but I'm going to put myself out there on this. I told you that this market's going to heat up. Do you guys feel that, yes or no? How many of you guys feel like we're sitting on a rocket right now? It's just like, and it's just like, we have these little spurts, right? Like where all of a sudden the market teases us. Oof. We're like, oh, here it comes. And it teases us again. We're like, oh, let's go. How many of you guys have felt that? How many of you guys felt that in February, right? When the rates came down and it was just like, oh. How many felt it like, remember August, September? I was here August, September last year. Remember what was going on? It was like, oh shit, here we go. Buckle up. And then all of a sudden, interest rates got cut by 50 basis points and it didn't have an impact on mortgage rates. And then the election took place and then all hell hit in the handbasket at that point, okay? And everything slowed down and we've been in this state of uncertainty. Here's what I will say to you right now, okay? Just write this down before I go into data. Because I am data over drama all the way. That's the thing, guys. Great salespeople use data. They don't buy into the drama. They use data. They don't buy into the drama. Write down the next 60 to 90 days will be volatile. Spell it however you want. It's going to be volatile. What does that mean? It doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It doesn't mean it's going to be good. It just means it's going to be up and down, and it's going to feel a little uncertain. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? And because it feels a little uncertain, do people move forward in uncertainty? No. What do people do when they're uncertain? They freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze. Now, I will tell you, even in this uncertain market, I am absolutely blown away with how many buyers are aggressively moving forward. Have you guys seen that? Yes or no? Like it is, I'm like, shit, man. Multiple offers across North America. When we got interest rates in the 7%. Now, think about where it is right now in terms of action, activity, right, of what's going on in the markets. And imagine what it's going to be like if we broke down into a 5% interest rate. What's going to happen? Bidding wars, more buyers. We'll have 4 to 5 million more buyers that just came into a market that last year had 3.9 to 4 million sales. Listen to what I just said to you guys. Right? We're going to double the amount of buyers we're going to have double the amount of buyers for the number of sales that took place. And inventory is not going to blow up. You guys get that? So what does that mean? Prices go up. Inventory that we've seen on the rise goes down. Negotiating power disappears. That's the future. And I'm going to back that up. But for the next 60 to 90 days, it's going to feel a little volatile. Why? So let's not get into a political conversation, but I'm going to use his name, right? I'm going to say Trump. First of all, does anyone believe that Trump is actually a good negotiator? Okay. Like, how many of you guys believe that, like, you don't get to run the businesses that he runs at the level that he runs if you're not a kick-ass negotiator? How many of you guys believe that? Yes. Whether you like him or not. I mean, he can be abrasive. Actually, he's not being super abrasive recently. Like, it's been pretty surprising to me. But check this out. Does anyone know why he extended 90 days on the tariffs? It's important for you guys to understand this because it's going to give you insight into what the markets are doing. And if you have insight into the markets are doing, and you can talk a little bit about this to your clients, they don't look at you like a dumbass realtor. They look at you like an advisor and a consultant that actually is helping them with the largest financial decision in their life, which is their house. Do you guys get that? And they don't need a realtor for that. They need someone that is a financial consultant. And today's consumer is more informed than they have ever been because they've got access to information like they never have. Make sense, guys? Now, the problem is the access to information that they have is off because they're going to the wrong sources or they're buying, and then if they go to the clickbait shit that's out there, which how many of you guys have ever actually gotten clickbaited? You know what clickbait is? You go, oh, let me click on that. And then you watch it a little bit, and then guess what starts coming up in your feeds? All of that. Has ever happened to anyone but myself? Yeah? Okay, total. All right. Now, 90 days, because 70 plus countries came to him and said, we want to negotiate on tariffs. How the hell are you going to negotiate 70 countries in 4 days? Does that make sense? So he had to go 90 days. That's what happened. Okay. Now, when that occurred and the stock market went on its face, and will the stock market come back? Yes or no? Oh, dude, if you guys are not buying Apple and NVIDIA and some of these companies right now, I'm going to come to your house in about 6 months and kick you in the ass. Because now is the time. This is why you work so hard. It isn't so that you can have the cars, it's so you can build generational wealth. Does that make sense? If you aren't buying Bitcoin right now and taking a portion, 10% of your money and reinvesting it back into crypto, which crypto? Bitcoin. Is that, you ready, guys? Which crypto? Bitcoin. Why? Because it will go to $1 million. Okay, I've talked to a couple people that have crypto mining farms, and they're like, Bitcoin in the next 8 years to 9 years will be at $1 million. So people go, oh my gosh, I missed the opportunity. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Like people in EXP. Oh my gosh, I missed the opportunity for EXP. No, you didn't. If you just make the right moves right now, when's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Right damn now. So I want you to look at the market recognizing it just responded. Now, what we did have is we had the weirdest thing that took place. Because we saw interest rates drop down to 6.6%, right, guys? Yes! I was getting ready to shoot a video. I really was. I was like, here we go. And I held off. I'm like, I've done this before. Wait and see. I have. I said, wait in September. Remember that? I'm like, wait, pipes, don't do it. Don't do it. I had my everything ready, right? And I'm like, no, wait. Monday, rates pop back up. Why? Here's what I want you guys to understand. The reason that rates pop back up, now, this is not my opinion. I go to my insiders on Wall Street. I have 3 of them right now. Okay, these are high-level individuals, all 3 of them with either a $1 billion net worth or multiple $1 billion net worth that basically are market makers. Do you know what that means? They're market makers, meaning they move the market. Okay, I said, what the hell happened? When stocks go down, historically, bonds perform better, which means that interest rates get better. How the hell are we up at 6.9%? What's happened is the countries outside, pay attention to me, I'm giving you an economics lesson, okay? You ready? The countries outside of the U.S. that are actually negotiating with Trump right now on tariffs, what they're doing is they're actually positioning themselves with a hedge. You guys know what a hedge is? A hedge is something to do if things don't go well. In stocks, you hedge yourself with puts or calls when you buy something, which is the opposite of what you want to happen, but you actually have a stop loss in there to make sure that you don't lose all your money. Does that make total sense? What they're doing is they're getting positioned to do government subsidies for the companies in their countries so that if they can't get negotiating done with the tariffs, they can subsidize the tariffs, by basically giving those companies money. Does that make sense? And look, you can't do that with a rupee. You have to, because you have to basically pay the U.S. You do it with treasury bills. Does that make sense? And so it screwed up the entire market right there. So it was a poor function of the tariffs. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no? Okay. When I finally got it explained to me, I went, oh, okay, right? And so now the negotiations are beginning to take place. You're going to see that fewer of those countries are doing it, and interest rates are coming down, and the 10 years performing better. Now, if we go here, so what does that mean? That means in 90 days, guys, the whole tariff negotiation is over. What do you think is going to happen to the markets? Okay, so when is that, by the way? Let's play a game on the calendar. April to May, May to June, June to July at the latest. So sometime between June and July, write that down, between June and July, you'll see the market turn. It'll shift. Mark my words. By the way, this is what I teach. This is selling in today's world. Does that make sense, guys? This is what consumers want and need, right? They need to have you doing this with them. And they're going to look at you and your AS, by the way, turn to your partner and go, you have got a great looking AS on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You have got a great looking. What is AS? You're like, no, I'm not doing it. AS is authority score. Your authority score goes up. When your authority score goes up, they follow your recommendations. Why? Because I'm not just, do buyers and sellers have a great perception of real estate agents, guys? Yes or no? No, they think we're like used car salespeople. Do you guys realize that? How many of you guys have seen the South Park episode? Are you kidding me? You guys haven't watched this? It's called City People. You write this, okay, I know I'm giving you books and shit like that, but you're like, you've got to watch this. Cartman becomes a real estate agent because his mom gets her real estate license. And he finds out about her first commission. And he calls Butters. He goes, Butters, don't tell anyone. He goes, I need you to show up with the camera and do all this. Why, Cartman, why? He's like, you're not going to believe this. My mom got her license as a real estate agent, and she's a dumbass. If she can do it, I know I can. It's like, legit is what he says. And they makes fun of him like as he does the drone video. And you guys have got to watch it. It's one of the most hilarious things. You need some comic. Laugh more. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, laugh more. It's so good, right? So, mortgage rates. Projection is 6.3. I'm going to actually go against that. I'm going to tell you why in a second. That 6.3 is going to be lower, my friends. Now, remember, we're talking June, July. Sometime between June and July, something's going to happen. Between June and July, the tariffs are done. Okay? Now, this right here, these are called Fed futures. If you've ever heard someone on CNBC say the market is pricing in 2 rate cuts, 3 rate cuts, 4 rate cuts. The market that they are talking about is the Fed futures market. This is a site called cmegroup.com. It's what I use to be able to actually track the Fed futures. Guys, I wake up every single morning. You know what I do? After I do my hoobie-jooby that I told you about, I'm up and I'm studying the market for 30 minutes. I go to CME Group and I have the Fed futures move because this is a predicate of what's going to be happening with interest rates. I look at Mortgage News Daily and I look at what's happening with mortgage-backed securities. This all sounds super complex, but it's really easy because if you go to mortgage, write this down, Mortgage News Daily, it'll show you what is the projection of interest rates for that day. The app's incredible. Like, I can pick it up right now, wherever the hell my phone is. Thank you, Rob. Mortgage News Daily. These are my go-tos. Hold on. I'm just sort of curious what we're looking at today. Ooh, ouch. Okay. Can you guys see this? Can you see that? That shows me the rate trend on the app. Here, I'll walk back here. Sorry, I know you want to keep me back here. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Right? Shows me the rate trend, what's going to happen. It's pinned all the way to the right, which means mortgage-backed securities are getting hammered, which means that the 10-year is not going to perform well today, which means that rates are going to go up today. Now, does that impact? Here, you guys see that? So watch guys, I'm no smarter than you. I just use technology better. Does that make sense? I just take the time. And then you start to begin. They got great articles that are inside of here. Great articles. See that, guys? Okay. Where it shows it's in the red, etc. Mortgage News Daily. Yeah, you guys are welcome. So this right here, that is the May meeting. If you look what I circled, it says chance of a rate drop. Now, I'm using this with my clients. Does that make sense, guys? I'm sending this to them. I want them to be educated and informed because what I believe and what I found over 30 years of experience in real estate and thousands of homes that have been sold, right, is this. An educated and motivated buyer or seller, educated, right, will always make more intelligent choices. The problem is they're not getting educated, right? 20% chance of a rate cut. Not that big, right, guys? Let's go to July. What do we got? Or that's June, sorry. What does it say up there, guys? 72.5. Let's go to July. By the way, what do we say? What's our area between June and what? Between June and July. So watch this. Tariffs are done. Markets are performing better. Interest rates, first cut by the Fed. What's going to happen to the market for the second half of the year? Do you guys see that right there? Now watch this. I show a buyer this, and they go, yes, we'll wait till July. What you have to have is an ability to be able to offset that, okay? And I'm going to give you a script for that. Would you guys like that? Yes or no? Okay. But is this making sense, guys? I know that this is really heady, but this is, guys, this is what you, as a professional that gets paid, look at me, $20,000 per transaction. To not be doing this is like malpractice as a freaking doctor. Does that make sense, guys? Like it really is. You need to position yourself as the professional. By the way, there's the September. Look at September. 96% chance. Do you see that? 4 rate cuts, maybe 5 this year. If we get a quarter point, and they're each a quarter point, we get a quarter point to quarter point move, means the Fed cuts rates by 25%. We see mortgage rates down by 25%. Someone do the math. That's 1 percentage point drop. Today we're at 6.86. That means by the end of this year, we're at 5.75 to 5.8 as a minimum. And all of a sudden, those buyers that you didn't have the heart-to-heart conversation and say, can I share with you what makes me nervous about the fact that rates are going down, right? There's less inventory. Prices are going to go up. You can get priced out of the market. You're going to have less to choose from. We're going to lose our negotiating power. They could be out of the market at that point. And waiting for another 4 years, 2 years, 3 years for the market to turn, and maybe they come back in. Does that make sense? And who was responsible for that, guys? Do me a favor. Point to your partner and go, you were the one that was responsible. You were. All right. Okay, let's go here. Now I love this too. Take a look at this. This is data. It actually was 3.9 to 4 million sales took place last year. It's the lowest amount of sales that took place since 1985. Okay, 1985. That doesn't take into account the population increase, right? Taking into account the population increase, it's even more dramatic. Okay, we're going to get 1 million more sales this year. Anyone besides myself somewhat excited about that? Yes or no? Okay, good. Now, and there's one more thing that will change all of this, and we've seen it actually take place. What is the one thing that's driving inflation more than anything else? You guys like your economic class today? Right? Like this is, I want you informed. I want you educated. I want you understanding this. I want you to be able to regurgitate this. I want you spending 15 minutes a day studying. By the way, write this down. Altos, Keeping Current Matters, Housing Wire, Mortgage News Daily. Altos, Keeping Current Matters, Housing Wire, Mortgage News Daily. Every morning, just spend 15 minutes on these reliable media outlets to hear what's going on and what the most intelligent people in the space and in the industry are talking about. Altos, Keeping Current Matters, Housing Wire, and Mortgage News Daily. That's all you got to do, guys. I'm not asking you to become an expert. Just engage. Have you ever noticed when you get excited about something, what do you want to do with the new information that you have? You want to tell everyone about it. So now your conversations, if I didn't give you any scripts, guys, look at me. Look at me. Are you there? Hi. Okay, good. You're looking over at her. So I'm going to get in your line of sight right here. Okay. You're my new agent, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Pay attention to this. This is what I said. You need to be educating yourself. You need to be taking the time. Watch me on this, guys. Even if I don't give you a script, but you do this, you naturally will have better conversations. Why? Because you're going to be talking about stuff that matters, backed by data and information, not your opinion. Okay? Then we layer on top of that some great scripts. Now, by the way, this is the one thing. Gosh dang it, I gave it away. So what's the one thing that will change all of this? You guys are so smart. Congratulations. Why will oil, now by the way, have oil prices dropped, yes or no? Oh, hell yes, they have. Okay, dramatically they have dropped. Why does oil drive inflation? Tell me about that. It's, I have to ship it. I have to produce it. Well, those productions require energy. Well, they're using electricity for the robots. No, the electricity comes from oil. Well, I have to get the goods to the store. How do I get it there? Truck, train, plane. What do they run on? So if we can get the oil prices down, it affects positively the cost of goods, meaning that you feel it at the grocery store, you feel it at the gas pump, you feel it when you travel, you feel it when you buy your tickets, all of that, which comes into inflation. And when oil prices come down, inflationary numbers come down at that point as well too. Does that make total sense, guys? Yes or no? Now, here's the really cool thing. Wherever my clicker went, where is it? Oh, thank you. Awesome. Look at this. Oil has dropped 23% since January the 15th. 23%. My buddy Pavan said this is one of the major things that needs to take place. Now I'm going to say something to you guys. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Last Thursday, by the way, is this resonating with you guys? Yes or no? Is this helping? I hope, then we're going to layer on a couple of scripts here in the last couple of minutes as well too. I was talking to him on Thursday because he's one of my go-tos, right? I went to him and I said, dude, what the hell is going on? He schooled me on why it is that we saw markets doing unhistorical moves that did not make fundamental sense at all, which I shared with you, the tariffs and the countries and the subsidies, et cetera. And I said, well, okay, dude. Now, he owns a company called SunWest Mortgage Company. Have any of you guys ever heard of SunWest Mortgage Company? So his parents founded it, and he took it and blew it up, right? He also owns a company called Angel AI, which is the biggest fintech company in terms of artificial intelligence, where you can go and get a loan. Like a client can get a loan, get it underwritten and approved in less than 10 minutes. And never talk to a loan officer. And he backs it up that pre-approval letter that if they can't perform on it, he'll keep it on his line, right? He's only had to do that 3 times. Anyway, the dude's smart. Does that make sense? He's also, stay with me on this, guys, extremely bearish. Do you know what that means? Someone tell the rest of the room what bearish means. He's not historically positive or Pollyannish. He's not, he normally is going more negative on mortgage rates than positive. He called it in September. I go, dude, rates, they're coming down. We're at 6.1. We're going to see them in the 5s. He goes, no, they're going to go the opposite move. I go, no way, Pavan, right? Of course, me, dumbass. He goes, all the move took place prior to the Feds cutting the rate. He goes, we got a full basis point cut prior to, if you remember, August and September. And then all of a sudden, what happened when rates got cut by 50 basis points in October and September? Rates went up. He called it. He said, you will see a substantial. Now, this is for us in this room. Is that fair enough, guys? Us in this room. I would not use this with your clients. If 2 things happen, he said, well, first of all, we're going to have the substantial. I think we're going to be in the high 5s. Okay, guys? Right? At least with the data. Not I think, but the data supports high 5s, low 6s. He said, if we will have the substantial drop if 2 things happen, and write this down. We stop the war in Ukraine, and we don't go to war with Iran. We stop the war in Ukraine, and we don't go to war with Iran. I'm like, we're going to war with Iran? He goes, you'd be surprised. Okay? And I said, if those 2 things happen, then how low will they go? We're going to get in the 5s. He goes, honestly, we could see them in the 4s or even the high 3s. I said, bullshit. Right? That was his projection. I'm sharing that with you because he's been right more than he's been wrong. Does that make sense, guys? Now, what does that mean for all of you? Ready? Everyone look at me. Work your ass off to load the cannon with as many leads as you can these next 90 to 120 days. Prospect for 2 to 3 hours a day and put leads in so that you can cultivate and nurture them so that when the levee breaks, you're busier than a one-arm paper hanger. Don't wait for the market to shift before you start taking the actions because it'll be too late then. Does that make sense? Yes or no? I am hammering my clients' asses on, you owe me 2 hours a day of prospecting. Hey, we're leaning into our marketing right now. We're doing more, over-index, right? Why? Because I want them to have 50, here's the number, guys, ready? You need to have 50 to 80 leads that want to buy or sell in the next 6 to 7 months, period. And if you don't have that, you're going to miss this incredible opportunity. Make total sense, guys? Okay? Right. Now, let's go to this. Let's go to this. All right. There's the bull run 2.0. By the way, guys, it's going to feel like 2020. It's going to feel like 2021. And what's going to happen is, it's not that it's a better market. We're just trading problems. Because the new problem that you're going to have is having to go back and work on multiple offer situations. Right? I hated that, right? You're going to have to start working with this objection. I'd love to buy a house, but I'd love to sell my house, but there's nothing out there to buy. You guys remember that? Okay? So, like, the great agents are getting prepared for that in advance. Now, I'm going to give you two things here. I'm going to give you a script here in a second, but we're going to move into the tactical. This is called the 10 by 10 principle. Remember I told you guys I want you to become appointment setting machines. Turn to your partner and just growl at them on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ha! No, really give it to them. 1, 2, 3. Ha! Right? I want you to be an appointment setting machine, wherever my clicker is. Right? So I call this is brand new for you guys. It's called the 10 by 10 principle. Grab your pen. You want to write this down. We did a study. By the way, this gentleman's name, W. Edward Deming. Does anyone know who he is? Deming, after World War II, went to the U.S. car manufacturers and said, hey, I've got a way to be able to upgrade the assembly line. Because the assembly line used to be one team of men, or in World War II, when the men were off to war, women, God bless them, right? One team of men or women that would work on one car, one tank, one whatever they were producing from beginning to end. Does that make sense? Team of 8. Okay, now we're going to put on the wheels. And then we're going to put on the windshield together. And they all just worked together on it. And as we just went down the assembly line, he said, no, there's a better way to do it. And he said, the better way to do it is this. One person specializes in one thing. The next person specializes in this. So you got one person that's riveting the body. Make sense? Another person that's putting on the doors. Another team that worked on the engine. Another team that puts in the engine. Another team that puts the transmission in. He said, this is the best way. We can drive efficiency. We can double and triple output if we do this. To which the U.S. car manufacturers, guess what they said? They said no. Guess what Deming did? He left. He went to a different country. Does anyone know what country Mr. Deming went to? Japan. And guess what happened over the next 30 years? Japan kicked our ass in automotive production. Higher quality. Why? Because one person, one thing. Specialization. Does that make sense, guys? 3 lead sources. That's all you need. You don't need 21. Anyway, so what I love about Deming is this, and I studied him a lot, is he said the earlier in the production model that you can make a change, the greater the overall impact it has on output. If I can make a change at the beginning of the assembly line, it's exponential. If I can make a change at the end of the assembly line, it's incremental. Can you see that? Why? Because there's only a little bit. Right here, it's gonna this output affects everything. Make sense, guys? The beginning of your assembly line is you setting appointments with your leads. Does that make sense, guys? That's the beginning. And if you can drive that, then what you're going to see is output will increase dramatically. So, myself and Wailopo did a study. This is something that we never would have been able to actually do before the advent of artificial intelligence. We analyzed 48,000 lead follow-up calls. Is that a lot? Now, I didn't personally sit there, right? We had artificial intelligence. We teed it up. We gave it an algorithm. We said, look for these things, listen for these things, etc. Here's what we found. Agents only ask for the appointment on a lead follow-up call less than 10% of the time. Is that crazy? Less than 10% of the time. You guys want to find out for yourself? Get the trial of Maverick, right? Go in, have it analyze your calls. You're going to find you're probably around 10% of the time you're actually asking for the appointment on a follow-up call. That was the norm, right? Do me a favor, turn to your partner and go, you're so much better than that. You're so much better than that. Now, watch this. That means we're going to write down 100 calls. Just write this number down. You're going to do the math with me today. 100 calls times 10% means 10% of the time I'm going to ask for the appointment. How many times am I asking for an appointment out of those 100 conversations? 10, okay? The second thing that we found was this, and this didn't change based upon what the ask rate was. 10% of the time, no matter what, they said yes. Less than 10%, it's actually 9%, but 10% is a little bit easier to do the math on. 10% of the time, agents are asking for the appointment. 10% of the time that they ask for the appointment, that person says yes. Now, can you change that and improve it? The answer is definitively. How do you change that? You get your scripts better, you get your dialogues better, you have more energy in your conversations, you work on your system and your sales process to make sure that you're following up enough times. You use email to be able to actually follow up with them. There's a lot of things you can do to increase the acceptance rate. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, the ask rate, but so now do me a favor, write down acceptance 10% and multiply 10, which was how many times you're asking, by 10%, and you get 1. Okay. Now, you guys with me right now? Okay, say yes. Deming. Change the beginning, get massive output on the end. It's difficult to change your skills. Does that make sense, guys? It takes time to become a more skillful agent. You have to work on that a lot. Let's do the math. So you came up with 1 appointment out of 100 lead conversations, right, guys? 100 times 10 is 10%. 10% times another 10% is going to be 1. What if you only left today, and the one thing that you focused on was 50% of the time asking for the appointment? Do the math now. What's 100 times 50? Times 50%. What is that? 50. What's 50 times 10%? Because what we found on the acceptance rate, it didn't change as the ask rate went up. 5. Write that down. Now, by the way, 100 lead follow-up conversations is what a typical agent is doing in a month. Does that make sense? It's about 20 per week that you're having, about 80 to 100 over the course of a month. Can you see the math, guys? I want you to see this. Like when I got this, when my Lopo and G and I were figuring this out, I was like, holy shit, I've got to teach this. I've got to get this going. This is a big change. This is an easy change. If all you did is make sure that you asked for the appointment on your follow-up calls, and it doesn't even need to be a good ask. When can we get together? Would Monday or Tuesday at 4 work? I asked. Could I do better with that? For sure. Fortunately, to get you one step closer to you're in the new home, you guys are all settled in for the summer. All that we need to do is simply set up a 15-minute strategy session so that myself and my team can help you get what you want in the time you want. Won't that be great? What works better for you? I can do a better ask, right, and drive that. But if all I did was move the ask rate, what's 5 times 12, guys? Right? What's 5 times 12? 60. Without having any more money invested in the business, without me asking you to make more calls just to get better at the calls that you're making right now and ask, do me a favor. What's 60 times your average commission? Do it right now. Do the math. What is it? 60 times 15. You guys in this room are leaving anywhere from $400,000 to $900,000 on the table with existing leads that you ultimately have because you're chicken shit and you're not asking for the appointment. Okay, why call? What's the worst thing? Okay, any of you guys ever go to college? Okay, any of you guys ever go to college bars? Okay, when you were younger, some of you are like, I still do. That's my prospecting area. No, wrong answer. Okay, so. I had this dude, I went to school at Miami of Ohio, right? In Ohio, obviously. And I had this guy, fraternity brother, and I don't think I'm like really good looking, but definitely better looking than he is, right? And the dude would always, at the end of the night, because you're in college, right, guys? What are you doing? You're sort of picking up and having fun and doing whatever. He would always go home with someone. I'm like, how the hell do you do that? He goes, well, number one, I recognize it's a numbers game. I'm like, that's interesting. I go, what do you do? He goes, I walk up to someone and I say, hey, my name is so-and-so. We should go hang out right now. He goes, they say no, that's okay. They say, yeah. I go on to the next person. I go, what do you say to the next person? I talk to them a little bit and say, we should go hang out a little bit, right? Okay. And he goes, eventually someone's going to say yes. Turn your partner and say, sounds like real estate, right? I said, well, dude, what about rejection? Doesn't that hurt? He goes, no, because I figured out a long time ago, if they say no, I'm in the same position. I go, what's that? Going home by myself. And I went, that's brilliant. Now, that's sales. Does that make sense, guys? That is absolutely 100%. If you ask and they say no, you're in the same position, which is you do not have an appointment. But you are in a better position. Why? Because I built up my confidence. If you do the hard enough, it becomes easy. Does that make sense, guys? It's like running and resistance on weights. And also, typically when they say no, it's a no with a validation or an objection, and I'm learning about their situation, and I'm more educated to be able to serve them and help them. Can you guys see that, yes or no? Right there, I'm telling you guys, I did this with Colton Whitney's team. Colton Whitney, right, amazing team. He's leading our buyer consultation class right now, which is just fan-freaking-tastic, right? Did this with his team. The people that adopted this, they have doubled and tripled the number of appointments in 30 days. 30 days. So I can't promise you 5X. I promise you this. You ask 50 to, and they're at a 57 to 63% ask rate now as a company. They have doubled and tripled the number of appointments. Guess how much more money Colton's paying for leads? Nada. Guess how much more money they're bringing in? A lot. Does that make sense, guys? Just because they did one thing. Do you guys remember City Slickers? One thing. Some of you that haven't seen that, that's an old one. Okay, now, can we drive, wherever my clicker is, can we drive the acceptance rate? Here is how we're going to drive the acceptance rate. Now, guys, I just gave you something so simple that some of you went, can it really be that easy? And the answer is 100%. Would you like 24 closes, guys? I've got 24 closes, so when I'm going to put up a QR code, that QR code is going to capture your information. Ryan Jono, who's on my team, is going to reach out to you. He's going to get you all set up for the 21 free day trial. So when you get a call from Ryan Jono on my team, will you answer it, guys, please? Don't make us chase you, because we'll call you 2 to 3 times, and that's it. If you don't call us back, we're not going to chase you. Because here's the promise I make to everyone that's in my community. We're not letting weaklings into the community. Right? That's my team. That's my brokerage, so to speak. Does that make sense? Okay? Right? I'm not allowing people that are going to dilute the ecosystem. I want people that are going to add to it. If we have to chase you, you're not exhibiting the signs and the characteristics, traits, and behaviors of people that are 7-figure earners, and those are the only people we want to work with, period. Okay, guys? So imagine if you had that same focus in your life. Would it change? Yes or no? 100%. All right, so here we go. I just gave you the control of the narrative. This is the rate decrease script. Hey, Michael, this is Bill Pipes over here with EXP, and I'm calling you back like I said I would. One of my favorite things to say. Why? When I say calling you back like I said I would, what does that actually activate in their mind? I do my shit. I follow through on my word. I have integrity. You can trust me. Just in that language. Language creates reality and perception. So I use that one phrase every single follow-up call. Do they remember that I promised that I was going to call them? No, but I shined the light on it. I wanted to reach out and see, did you see what happened to mortgage rates over the last 10 days? I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this? I was wondering how, if all does that impact your goal to buy a home? Were you aware how the decrease, look, I'm changing the frame. Have rates gone down, yes or no, from where they were on a high of a couple of days ago? And will they come down? Yes, that's why I'm giving this to you right now. Were you aware how the decrease in rates actually creates some urgency in your decision to buy a home? What did I just do? I told them, you cannot wait. Because in their mind, they're like, rates are coming down? Cool, I'll wait until I get to a certain level. You're going to see an increase in competition because buyers are getting back in the market, right? What is your name? Muhammad, you're going to see an increase in competition. Did you realize that? Yeah, and you know, because buyers are coming back into the market as rates come down, just like yourself. Muhammad, number 2, here's the second thing. We currently have more homes to choose from that we were talking about due to the increase in inventory. You love that, don't you? Okay, what do you think is going to happen, Muhammad, the minute that all those buyers come back into the standing inventory of homes for sale? That means that you got it. It's competitive, and we're also going to see fewer homes to choose from, which means, unfortunately, Muhammad, instead of getting the home that you want, you're going to get the home that's available. Do you want that? Of course, who would, right? Number 3, right now, you still have great negotiating power right now, Muhammad. Did you realize that? where we can get concessions, maybe a little bit off price, et cetera, right? If we have more buyers, less inventory, more offers, what do you think it's going to do to your level of competition that you have, or your level of negotiating power that you have? Make it less, which means you're going to pay more. Now, does that make sense at all? Fewer homes, less negotiating power, and on top of that, more buyers to compete with. You don't want that situation, do you? Do you see what I just did, guys? What did I do? I changed the narrative and I created urgency on that. Right now, you still have negotiating power with sellers since they're receiving fewer offers, but with more buyers, it means more offers, less negotiating power in the future. The good news is you'll still be able to gain equity, right? If you buy right now and then you can actually refinance, and there's the rest of it. So you can see right now we have more homes to choose from, more negotiating power, less competition, and this will be changing in the near future when the return of the buyers we are seeing. You do want to take advantage of this window of opportunity before we see the competition increase, correct? Yeah. Great. Then all we need to do now is simply set an appointment so I can help you get what you want, the time you want. Won't that be great? I got time on Monday or Tuesday at 4. What do you think of the script, guys? Okay, very simple, very good. Now, if you want to get good at that, oh, there we go. There she blows. I was waiting for that slide, hoping I would get there in the next 2 minutes before we got to be out of here. I always have too much information for you guys. You know what I mean? That's why we keep coming back. Can I share with you the Chat GPT thing really quick? Yeah, I can do it in 2 minutes, okay? I'm sending the script to you guys. You never get them? That's crazy. So let me go back here. Did you guys get that? Is the QR code working? Yes. Thank you, technology. There you go. Take a picture of that, sis. By the way, check your spam. We could be going in there because it comes through from Kajabi. All right. All right, you guys ready? One last little bit. Do you want the secret weapon that is fueled by AI? I'm so happy to share this with you guys. And it's super big. Sorry. Can you see that? Damn it. I can now. Oh, perfect. So, in talking to Bill Inman about ChatGPT, and I went to dinner with Bill Inman, Pavan, a couple of the other guys from that are AI specialists and leaders in artificial intelligence. I literally had to get up, go to the restroom, not because I had to pee, but because I was freaking out. Because I saw the massive disruption that was about to take place. Do you guys realize with Elon Musk's Tesla robot at $30,000, $500 a month financed, you know that's coming? Do you realize what's going to get disrupted? What industries are going to get disrupted? Guess who's getting fired at my house? The maids, the housekeepers. Guess who else is going by the wayside? The dog walker. Guess who else is going to disappear? I have a woman that comes and folds my clothes. I've told the story about you, Talitha. I can teach this robot how to do it exactly with it. She does it, and they'll do it better, right? Like, there is disruption that's coming, baby. Yeah, it's the Jetsons. Yeah, we already have Zoom. Remember once upon a time when, like, you know, meet George Jetson? Jane was his, sorry, I had to go, Jane, his wife, his boy, Elroy, right? So when Jane, right, Zoom call that Jane was on. Judy was on. Judy, whatever her name was. Daughter Judy, Jane, his wife. Okay, sorry. So, and she put her face on. What is that face? It's called a filter. Do you guys see? The Jetsons is right now. The shit's happening right now. What can you do on Zoom? I'm going to put a mouse head on myself, right? It's a filter. So this Chat GPT, I've been playing around with it. There's two things that I want you guys to get. Number one, what you need to do, get in chat every single day. I don't care if it's to say, hey, tell me about, if I'm getting ready to go out on a buyer consultation, guess what I'm going to do? Give me all the important information and data that I need on the school system over here, and also what are some of the great restaurants that are around this area. So when I go show this property, I can actually talk. Chat will give you, here you go, brr, there you go. And now guess what I have? Hey, by the way, I put this together for you. Here's information on the school district, and on top of that, here are some of the best restaurants. Or I can talk about it more powerfully, increasing my authority score. Does that make sense, guys? And how long does that take for chat to do it? Seconds. And by the way, the more you use chat, guess what happens? It learns you. My chat curses at me. No, it does. It goes, I got a damn good one for you right now, Pipes. No nonsense, no bullshit. Let's go. Like, calls me baby even, because that's how I talked. I think the guy on the airplane, because I was like crafting some Instagram stuff yesterday and some posts and everything. Like, you can actually create posts, not just the content for it, but you can actually create the actual like social media posts now. Do you know there's Hey Jen? Hey Jen, you can actually create your own avatar, and you can use ChatGPT to come up with the information, right? And then you upload it to Hey Jen, which is your avatar that looks like you. That 72% of people, they can't tell the difference between the avatar and the real life human being. So then you go into ChatGPT. You guys who don't like doing video, here's your hack, right? And then you upload the market update video. You give it over from ChatGPT to Hey Jen, Heygen, right? You have your avatar that you've done in Hey Jen, and then Hey Jen, boom, your avatar actually does the market update video for you. And 72 to 80% of the people can't even tell it's you. Is that incredible, guys? Yes or no? How many of you guys get a little flustered when you're getting ready to do video? You're like, oh God, here we go. Let's reshoot it 65 million times, right? This right here, so you want to use it, number one. This right here is the actual insert that you're going to do. You take your top. You don't do this with all of your leads. A lead for me in this definition is somebody that I previously spoken to that has said, call me back later. Does that make sense? I have a later time frame, give me a call in a week, etc. You're going to copy and paste this. And we'll send this to you, okay, guys? Like, I've got this. You guys have it already. Says, act as a top producing real estate agent. I have this is from my one pro lead. I want a custom phone script tailored exactly to what this person's situation. Here's the information I have. Lead name, lead type, area of interest, price range, time frame, pain points or hesitation, goals or dreams, what I want them to do next, and total previous conversations. Sorry, this one is for a probate team that I work with. By the way, we just tweaked it over for them in probate. Guess what they're doing? They just sent me, they're like, dude, we're doing this. We set 3 appointments over the course of the last 2 days using this. It's amazing. So then what you do is you say, give me a direct, persuasive phone script, a strong custom opening based upon their situation, talks about the drop in rate and the impact that's had on competition, multiple offers. It's question-based with high level of confidence, a hook that speaks to the pain or curiosity, value positioning, why me, a specific soft CTA. All that you have to do is input the red. Go back up, Rob, if you would, to the red. That's your job. Does that make sense? ChatGPT, I did everything else, because what makes ChatGPT or any of the chatbots actually work, that generative AI, are the prompts. Does that make sense? The prompts and the usage that you have with them. You input that in, and it will spit out a script for you right away. Then you can look at it and say, I really like this. Can you make it more aggressive? Can you make it softer? And then here's step number 2. So would you guys be willing to play around with this in the next 24 hours? I'm telling you right now, this is a game changer. And I had people say to me, Coach, you're replacing yourself. I said, no, I'm duplicating myself. Does that make sense? I'm not replacing myself. I'm duplicating my ass, man. We are 3 weeks away from having Coach Pipes AI. And that is me that you can turn to at any given time. And we have gone through about 24,000 hours of me speaking that's been recorded and coaching calls I've done. So every situation you come up against, you will actually have me as your coach, right? Included in G3, by the way. You need a second one, yeah. Yeah, so you need a second Coach Pipes, right? So isn't that rad, guys? Now, you can create the same thing for yourself using a thing called Angel Twin. Okay, using Angel Twin, where at any time, there is a twin of you, an actual like avatar of you that will answer any questions about the market, any questions about what's going on. It only takes about a week to get it set up. Yeah, mine's in process. Yours is in process right now. Yeah, that's because of our partnership that we have. Do you guys see how incredible that is? All of those Gotta minutes are going to disappear because your twin is going to be there answering questions. And I'm telling you, the next 2 years is going to be really different. Start using this. Start using this. Can we go to the next slide? Twin answers the questions for the clients. Yeah, that's exactly correct. What's that? It'll have record of it as well, too. Hey, Rob, if we can go to the very end, that would be awesome. 3 slides prior. One more. Okay, next one. There. I want to leave you with this thought. I always have a slide that I end with, and it's sort of weird for me not to because it's my stallions and my ponies and my jackasses. And it's so fun for me, and I decided not to because I want to share something with you guys here today. First of all, did you get value today, guys? Yes or no? Okay, right? I'll probably be back, what, Rob, 6 months? Yeah, we typically the rotation is 6 months, right? And we'll be talking about, holy shit, coach, I'm so busy. You were right. The rates are coming down. And oh my gosh, and thank goodness I prospected my butt off, right? And I've got all these leads and business is fantastic. And thank you, right? Okay. I'm hoping that we have that conversation. I'm intending that we have that conversation. I'm counting on you that we have that conversation and that you're able to actually come and do that. But that requires you guys working your butt off. And do me a favor, turn to your partner right now and say, yes, baby, you got some booty to work off. If you would, please. You got the booty to work it off. The study was done recently, and one of the most, so the standards that matter the most, the standard of your mind, which we talked about, right, guys? And you need to work on that every single day. Number 2 standard that matters is the standard of where you spend your time. I always talk about that, but did not talk about this today. Number 3 is the standard of your energy, which I challenge you guys on, and the importance of having the right energy. And number 4, write down, is the standard of the people you choose to associate with. Nothing has a greater impact than that. Do you realize that? Because if you leave here and go hang out with some dumbasses who are small thinkers, they will erase 95% of the shit that we talked about here today. Do you guys realize that? Yes or no? This study was done. If you hang around with bigger producers, if you're within, are you ready? You may want to write this down. A 15-foot proximity of a higher producer. Just their presence and you being around them increases your production by 25%. Is that amazing? Yeah. Turn to your partner and go, get richer friends. When I'm around Brent, Rob, when I'm around you, when I'm around James, when I'm around Johnny, right? When I'm around these bigger individuals, I notice, I think differently, push myself more, continue to grow. How many of you guys have ever noticed that before? Raise your hand, say aye. Okay, good. Turn to your partner and go, that is again why I am sitting next to you, baby, and give him a little high five, if you would, please. Sit next to you. Go to the next slide, Rob, if you would, please. But here's the flip side. Here's the challenge. If you're around crybabies, complainers, people that bitch and moan, right? Your production, if you're in that same 50-foot proximity, remember, it's only a 25% increase in production if you're like around the higher producers. It actually is a bigger impact. This is what blew me away. It's a 30% decrease in your production by being around people that complain, moan, or produce less. You have got to guard the greatest asset that you have, which is you. Does that make sense, guys? Right? And choose wisely. It's time to choose. Guys, I loved spending time with you here today. I hope you got some great information. Thank you so much for your time. If you ever need anything, by the way, when Ryan calls you, this is the 90 Days 3. We already have your information. We'll be calling you guys. So if you actually put your information in, we're all set. So my friends, I love you. Happy Easter. Happy Passover for those of you that celebrate it. Most importantly, work your butts off. I'll see you in 6 months. Thanks again, guys.